For those of you who don't know, I'm a tailor, a seamstress. I work with this stuff all the time. If you have something that's ripped, I can usually fix it. I can take it and I can do stuff to it. That thing behind me is a $700 sewing machine. And I specifically bought it to be able to go through this. I don't do a lot of sewing videos. I have in the past, and they didn't get any traction. I said, screw it, let's remove them. In this video, I want to show you the do's and don'ts about a tail. It's a tail of a tail. I really wish I was joking. I have two tails here. Here's this short one. Here's this long one. Let me explain what you shouldn't do. Don't ride your motorcycle with a tail. If you know that you have to go on a really long adventure or even just down to the store and you want to wear your tail, and if you're wearing a hoodie, push it up inside your hoodie. Don't let it dangle where it's going to hit the exhaust, because that's going to happen. Yeah. So that happened, and my friend decided to wear his really long one. There you go. He burnt the shit out of it. He's my buddy, so I didn't charge him for it. I said, just buy me the fabric and I'll make you a new one since you're my friend. I don't do this for everybody. Now beforehand, if you're wondering, how do they attach? Here you go. These little belt loops. Here are a pair of my pants. I haven't been out of the house in like months, and the first time I got to go out was about 2 weeks ago. And here is right here. It literally just attaches to the back, and then you wear them, and then when your pants are tightened up, it looks really nice, and it's pretty cool. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I am going to record as much as I can, and my camera isn't even out yet. I'm recording this on my computer right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the process at which I can try to repair this. And when I say repair, I should actually rephrase that to rebuild. So what I'm going to essentially do, we're going to play a little bit of surgery here. So I can do some of this at my desk, and I can record the process of cleaning up the tails. And my friend asked, can I fix this? We're going to find out. To start with, I'm going to have to cut into this. So let's go ahead and get that started. My guess is, you're probably wondering, do you have black fabric to back this up? My bad. Let me rephrase that. Do you have black faux fur to back it up? I've got the black faux fur. Unfortunately, I don't have enough blue, as far as I'm aware, to make this work. But what I can do is probably find, I should be able to find where the stitching is. I should be able to cut this off, cut this straight down the center. I'm going to have to remove my tabs, and I should be able to just redo the entire thing, and you'll see the entire process. It's not as hard as you think, and in the moment of all of it, you're going to be like, holy crap. So first of all, we got to find, oh, you know what? My dad got these free scissors because, I don't know, I don't remember the reason. But if you don't know who they're from, these are a pair of Cutco scissors. What you need to know about these motherfuckers is that they are sharp as hell. They could cut through bone. They are insane. I have cut pennies. So I'm going to use this to cut through right. I'm trying to make sure I get everything on camera. And there we have it. Now, can we save this cotton? I don't see why not. Let me point out a little demonstration that some of you may not understand. That you're probably asking, but why did it do this? Why did it melt? Why did the cotton melt? Because this isn't cotton. What it's called is polyfill. Everything on this, everything here is made of cotton, including the tabs. This is what cotton looks like when you burn it. It continues to burn. It has a natural burning smell. And it's, well, okay, sometimes you can put it out, sometimes you can't. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Hey kids, don't do this at home. Now, let me get a tiny piece of this. Now you see this, watch what happens when you burn this. It doesn't burn. It can burn like it did on here, but as you see, it's just melting. Sorry if it's a little hard to see because I am on this camera, but I'm trying not to be too close to my monitor right now. As you see, it's not necessarily burning, but it's melting. I mean, it is burning, but it's not burning. It's more or less melting, like if you got plastic on your stove and you're like, oh god, that burning plastic smell. I'm going to use these to shear off all of this, basically. Is that the right term? I have no idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to find It should be right here. This is where the middle is. To make a tail, it's actually not as difficult as you think. If you can put shapes together, you can do this. Yes, it's a little wonky to do so, but it's not as hard as you think. We're going to find out what I can keep, what I can't keep, what's busted. And I am more than likely just going to completely trash the black. There's no reason in trying to keep it, because realistically, things are falling off my desk. There is zero reason to keep this black when in reality it's just garbage. So who cares? So what I want to do is I'm going to go around and see, like this, I should be able to still use this. Now, one thing you definitely can do, I've heard for years, is you can throw this, I would say throw it in a pillowcase. Put it all in a pillowcase that has a zipper or some buttons, and throw it in the washer machine and let it all wash. And then you're going to take it out and you can throw it in the dryer. You don't have to throw it in the dryer, but I would recommend throwing it in the dryer on low heat and let it spin for a couple hours, and it should come out just fine. So what I'm going to do, actually, is we're going to find where the... We're just going to cut this all off. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it all off. Why do I keep saying we when I know I'm the one doing this? And a friend of mine, another friend online, he said, if you can do it, would you sell it to me? I don't remember who this guy is anymore, but I can't remember who it was. So I'm going to trash that, and this is what I'm left with. So what I can do now is I'm going to go inside. I'm going to pull all this fluff out. I have a really big one that I probably definitely should do this with because it's a lot. And this is what happens when you sit on it, when you do all that stuff. You just sitting on it, it's just staying up inside. Now, can I, like I said, can I reuse this? Yeah, there's no reason I can't. It's just fluff. And so now, what I'm going to see what I can do is wait. Let's see what I can do real quick. Oh my god, this is comfortable as shit, dude. Dude, that's awesome. Let's find where my seams are. See, when you look at it, this is how I create. So to understand something, to understand this, this is where my markings are. Usually I have, like right here, this is an A marking. You can't really see it all too well on camera because if I can barely see it, you can probably barely see it. There's an A right here, and then there should be, if I'm correct, it's a B. Yeah, there it is. Because it's almost near impossible to write on fabric like this in the first place. So what I'm going to try to attempt is... Why did I do this with my right hand like an idiot? I'm left-handed, dude. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to see what I can create out of it. And as you can tell, it pretty much looks like a... If you've got a teddy bear you've had for like the last 20 years, this is what it looks like. I don't know how he managed it. But the dude is a hardcore furry, and... if you knew him like I did, you'd be like, dude, you need to calm down about being a furry. Can I rescue the tabs? Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to try right now and see if I can rescue them. If it's even possible. So, these are the tabs. What we're going to try to do is cut them off. If I save it, can I put a belt through about that much? Now, the average belt usually spans about, I want to say 1.5 to 2 inches wide. Let's double check this. I'm not 100% sure. So I've got this Pokemon belt that I love. And what we're going to do, let me just get, if you're starting out, always get a damn ruler. It's about 3.5 centimeters across. Oh no, I was way off, dude. Oh no, I was sort of right. This belt specifically is about... right at 1.5 inches. So here's what I'm going to recommend. If you plan on doing this, what you need to understand is you really don't need that much. This is right at, if I'm correct, it's right there. So we can put from there to there. Oh wait, no, not you. Let's use you. Why did I pick that up? From there to there, it's right at like 2.5 inches. So realistically, it's going to sit right there, and I can easily trim this back. And it's not going to affect it too much. Got it. So, just right about that much is fine. So, you're looking at about right there. So, you're going to get this scraggly edge. And if I'm correct... Actually, this might be plastic. It's just really soft. Let's find out. So what I'm doing right now is I'm melting this down just a little bit. Yeah, so this is actually plastic. So all of this is literally plastic. Ah, damn, that smells bad. Now, the reason I do that is because if I don't, that's going to fray like a mofo, and you're going to be like, oh, God. So what did I trim this back to? Let's find out. This sits right at 4.5 inches. I trimmed off just enough to be able to work with it, which isn't always the best, but it does work out in the long run. Now, I do have extra if I need it. I've got a little bit, but not a lot. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of places that are starting to, that do and don't sell this. So I highly recommend, if you can get this online, do it. It is, I think it's a belt strap type. I don't remember. I used to know the name directly, but I don't. And unfortunately, if you've been paying attention, Joann's is going out of business, and they are selling off their storefronts, and they're just throwing things out, and it's a bummer, and I'm sort of sad because that's where I would pick this up, which is a real big bummer. Actually, first, before I do that, let me see. Yeah, it's not by much. I highly recommend, if you want to start doing stuff like this, get yourself a box of chalk from the dollar store and a cheapo sharpener. So the reason I say this, and you're going to end up with all this extra chalk dust. If you can find a use for that chalk dust, I say go for it. So what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to trace it, and yep, there we go. And we're going to take this right above the line on the opposite side of where the tail is. We're going to chop that off. Got it. So we're going to take this and we melted that down. And do be careful, that is plastic. If it gets on your hands while it's melted down and still hot, it will hurt. So be very careful. Okay, so they should be about the same size. These are very thick. You don't need them this thick. You just need them strong. And if you can get a thinner version, then I say do it. I've got some red version over here that's really good. So we're going to keep this off to the side. And when I put it back on, as long as, let me see. Let me double check. This is why, more often than not, what I end up doing is I make them about 2 inches, where when you fold it in half, it's 2 inches. So it's a 4-inch piece is what I usually like to do, because I don't know how much extra room I'm going to need. So let's say, for instance, that I do this. I make the tabs like this first, so that way it sits properly. I'll sew that into itself. Put a simple stitch, hold it in place, and then what you want to do, what I do personally, is I test to see if it's good enough to push through and if it's going to go all the way down. Like, just holding it like that. And the downside is I need at least probably about 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters of it, so I probably won't be able to use this. But it was at least a good test to see if we can make it, we can reuse it, and there's your answer. We can't use this, unfortunately. Can I use this for other projects? Probably, but do yourself a favor. If you're starting out being a tailor or a seamstress and you're thinking, huh, I got all these scraps, what can I do with it? I said the same thing. Here are some scraps. Do you know what I did with them? This is what I highly recommend. If you've got a bunch of scraps that you can't do anything with and they're too small to do anything, keep them for samples. Either A, for people to see if they want to ask you about something, or you could also do stuff like this. What I commonly do when I have to rethread my machine, or there's something wrong with my machine and I have to clean it out, I always just get a little piece of fabric, and what I do is I'll fold it in half, and sometimes I might do it as a fourth. Most of the time I only need to do it in half, and then I'll sew down this, and I'll check to make sure, and I'll check out the seams, see if they're too tight, see if they're just fine. And it works just fine. So I recommend keeping your scraps, like just a handful of them. I mean, this looks like a handful, but it really isn't. But if you have like a busted project, you're just like, what can I do with it? This is a prime example. And do yourself a favor. Whatever the color your thread is, don't be stupid and be like, well, I'm going to use black on black. You're not going to be able to see it. Get like, let's say for instance, I'm using black thread. I'm obviously going to use this one, not this one. Don't be that guy. Don't be me. I've done that multiple times. I'm like, I'm an idiot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this. we're going to need to do it on this side and see if I can cut this in half. Cut these back to their original size. Set the desk lamp to ghost white. Now set the lamp to 100%. That's better.
Lamp to 100%.
Damn it. Set the desk lamp to 100%. So first of all, what you need to understand, what you're looking at, is this side is the side where I sewed on the tabs. So we're just going to clean this up. And on this side, as you see, this is the way that it sits right here. This is the shorter one versus the longer one, the one that had the most damage. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to see where this is at the moment. I'm just going to use these because it was easier. The reason I'm using these scissors instead of my normal scissors is because this is chomping through it. I wouldn't say like butter, but a lot easier when I press down. It definitely feels weird cutting with these on faux fur. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that this is all cleaned up. And now we've got a good sized tail that I can still reuse. Why do I keep shifting between two scissors? Quit that, me. It is going to come out to be a tiny bit shorter, but that's no big deal. So now we've got this right here. It shouldn't be too hard to fix anyways, because the way I'm doing this isn't really complicated, but we're just seeing how hard it is to repair, to be honest. And I don't honestly know who has all done this, so, you know, it's a hit and miss situation. Now, what I commonly do, when I make a tail, where'd I put my drink? Oh, it's way over there. When I make a tail, I usually set a place where I'm going to stitch it closed. Which means we got to find where is the tail going to sit, how the tail is going to sit, and so on. So we're probably looking, because this is going to sit like this on your back. This is the bottom piece, right? This is the bottom. This is the top. The tabs are going to need to sit probably right along this section. And when I get the new black, the black is going to be put onto the bottom of this. But we need to make sure that we get off all of this excess real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and make sure that this is all even and cleaned up. And I'm just debating on where I want to... Oh, here it is. Wait, no, is that my stitching? No. That is that is machine stitching. I think this is it. Yeah. So right here, this is where I hand stitched it closed. I can see it because that is red thread. Yep, that's red thread. And what we want to do, what I'm probably going to have to end up doing is I'm just going to have to cut all of this stitching out. Because okay, I'm going to attempt it as long as, no, I know where it's at. And if you're good, I'll give you a gold sticker. I have so much crap on my desk, dude. I gotta get rid of some of this crap. So what we're gonna do, well, I don't know why I keep seaweed. If you're following along and you're having to do the same stuff, I suppose. Let's see how long it takes me to... Not done yet. We still have a little bit to go, because what we got to do now is... Oh yeah, we definitely got to clean that up. Like, that's got to go straight across, because that looks like garbage, dude. So, we're not done yet. We've got that section, and we're going to clean up. We're not done cleaning. We're going to do that last. We got to get rid of this right here, because it's not going to stitch properly, and it's going to look like trash even more, so... So as you can see, the reason like it sits the way that it's sitting the way that it is and it's not acting normal is because it's got all that stitching on it, and it's pretty much got both sides of it. So what we're going to do now is we've got that, and we're going to cut along here to see what we can do about this cleanup real quick. So we've got it inside out, and we're gonna cut just barely at the edge. Again, why am I saying we? I'm the one doing it. It's not like anybody's helping me. Okay, I thought it smelled funny. It's just got like an old teddy bear smell. So now that I've got this figured out, we're gonna turn it back in right side in to where this is now sitting like this. And what we want to do is let's brush some of this out. Hey, for once, things were in the proper drawers. How often is that? We're gonna go in, and I'm pretty much just gonna try to collect the excess off, because when you cut on faux fur, there's a high chance that you're going to get a lot of the fabric, a lot of the faux fur coming off of it, sort of like a golden retriever or a husky situation. No matter how many times you brush it, you're like, why am I still getting it off? Help. The downside is that I could go one of two directions with this. Is the first way, this is the end. This is where it's going to sit on your ass. And what I could do is I could, first of all, I noticed a spot that I missed right through here. I thought I got this. I can go one of two directions with this. The first direction is I can cut this all off, and yes, it will make it shorter. And at that point, it'll probably be about maybe 2 centimeters at best cut off. So how much is actually, that is right at a quarter, no, 3/16 of an inch. I don't know, but it's like from where it stands, it's about 3, and that's probably about where the stitching would go when I would do that. So I'll have to dig through my patterns, and it'll be the next video, but because I've done so much just to clean this up in like 40 minutes kind of deal. But what I essentially am probably going to do, what I think, I just want to work this out in my head first, so y'all are like, okay, what direction do you want to do this? So the first direction is cut this off, have 2 pieces. That's probably going to be what I want to do. But the other option is I could take it out, sit it like this, and this is the section where the black tip is going to be. Now I can do that, but the problem with trying to do something like that is that I've got to recreate the entire concept of what it's going to look like. While that could be a possibility, it's going to be more annoying to sew on the tip, and you're thinking, okay, you could just do that. But we're doing this, like, we're repairing this all the way down to the very base of it. So to do that, I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. So we're going to take it, pre-warning, when you work with a lot of faux fur, some of it's going to go up your nose. Oh, and do me a favor, if you ever want me to repair a tail and you want to go through the entire process, the biggest thing I need you to do for me is wash your freaking tail first before you send it, because if you don't wash it, I'm going to charge you. I'm going to charge you a cleaning fee, because if you don't clean your friggin' tails, they can smell terrible. Some of you furries think, oh, it's fine, it's got a natural scent. No, buddy, don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that's like, I like natural scent. No, you like natural scent during sex and sexual pleasure. That's fine. That's how this kind of thing works. Don't be that guy. We've got that off. Now let's do the exact same thing. We're going to get off the excess with the hard brush first. Try to see what I can do. And so before I get done here for this video, because I've gone 45 minutes in on my side, I don't know how long the video is going to end up being, but essentially you want to make sure that it matches up just fine yeah, this should work. This should be fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate tabs for it. And I've got some others. I've got some red tabs, and we'll be using that to attach to this. And this is pretty much just what this current video is. As I said, I'm not remotely done. This is probably about a 3-hour process, maybe 2 hours. Since I've already got the pattern down and I can reuse this section, it shouldn't be too overly complicated to make another black piece. All it is just putting down a piece of fabric, tracing a piece, and then making it. As long as I can find the original, I've got it here somewhere. That'll be the next video, but I essentially just wanted to go in and explain what direction I can take this. How much do I have to trim off? Is it going to be any smaller? Yes, it's going to be smaller by probably about a couple inches, but I wouldn't say no more than maybe 2 or 3. While I'm not going to be able to, you know, replace this black, I definitely can salvage the blue and the innards of this tail as well. And I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember who, but I'm going to be probably reselling this on my Etsy. If you want this tail from me when I get done with everything, I'll probably have it up for sale by Monday, just so I can have everything done, make it pretty, make it smell nice, do all that stuff. Yes, it is a used tail, but it is refurbished. That's what I want to say. Once I get done with this is going to be straight up refurbished. It's going to look prettier, it's going to look cleaner, but it is used. My friend would wear it everywhere. My friend, he's got a new one. I built him a new one. I don't like calling myself a straight up tailor, because a tailor implies somebody that's making suits and stuff. So I like to consider myself a fabric engineer. That's a good way to put it. I should make that a tag if I remember. It's not complicated to make a tail. It just takes a lot of work. If you have all the tools at your disposal like I do, I literally could turn around and make a completely solid black tail, and I'd be done with it. And if I started on it and I didn't stop, we're looking about 2 to 3 hours for one tail. And so that's why I charge what I charge, because it doesn't take me too long, but I'm still going to charge you because I made it. So anyways, that's part 1 of this video. I don't know how many more parts there are going to be to this, just because I also have to, you know, have to get the piece that goes on it, which is going to be right here. I've got to create the tip, then I've got to sew it back to itself, find where, like, probably... So they're going to be right about here, probably somewhere. I usually try to keep it in the center. So wherever the tail is hanging, that is about where I'm going to put it. So it's not, I'm going to try to keep it as much as possible, and I'll try to teach you some other stuff that I know. And I will tell you right now, I should have said this at the very beginning. I don't in any way consider myself a professional, but I do consider myself knowledgeable. So if you learned something from this, I am, you know, I'm really happy. I'm glad that you learned something. I'm glad that you were able to take my knowledge and say, oh, some of the stuff you did was obvious, but I didn't think about it. And that's in my opinion, one of my favorite types of learning, is when you learn something and you go, I can't believe how obvious it was to do that. But if you're just watching this for entertainment and you're helping me out with my hours, I greatly appreciate it. And this is one of my favorite hobbies. I don't make a lot of stuff because I don't have a lot of fabric right now, and so I'm trying to just use my scraps. And next video I'll show you, but I am also working on a quilt. I'm getting all of my scraps and I'm making 5-inch squares, and I'm going to sew them all together. And then after I do that, I'm going to figure out how to make a blanket. I don't honestly know what I'm doing. I'm just going with what I think is right. I have no idea, but we're going to find out. So until next time, if you like this video, please tune in for the next installment of all of this, and I hope you had fun watching it. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and come back anytime you like. And I hope you enjoyed this for what it's worth. Blah, blah, blah. You get the point. Later, taters.